Summertime is salsa time, my friends, and I got 3 bold flavor salsas you're gonna love all summer long. All right, guys, I got my ingredients and station all set up here. Really for this recipe, it's 8 ingredients, simple ingredients, and a blender. Very easy to make, like I said. So first ingredient is avocado, obviously. So it's very important to choose a good ripe avocado for this recipe. If you don't have a ripe enough avocado, it's not gonna be very creamy. So what you really wanna do when you're in the store, you just kind of feel it. You'll feel the flesh gives a little bit. That's nice and ripe. So gonna go ahead and just slice this in half here, carefully, like so. And I'm just gonna go ahead and scoop it into the blender. It's gonna make creamy, delicious salsa. All right, got my avocado in. Next is tomatillos. I have a ½ pound of tomatillos. And tomatillos are different from green tomatoes. And these are gonna add a nice tartness. And tomatillos are used in a lot of verdes. So just a rough chop on everything. And you gotta peel if they have their little outer husks on them. Give it a rinse. Just a rough chop here. It's getting blended anyway, so don't have to go crazy. And next I have a quarter of a white onion. A rough chop is good. You can use a sweet onion or yellow. Into the food processor. And here I have a couple of serranos. So you can use one serrano, or if you want it to be milder, use a jalapeno. And you can core it out for even more mild flavor, milder heat. But I'm using 2 serranos because I do like it spicy. All right, and I got some garlic. I have 3 cloves of garlic here. You can smash or quick chop. And you can definitely add more garlic if you'd like. And I'm gonna use about a 1/4 cup of chopped cilantro. Just kind of winging it. It's about a 1/4 cup. That's about right. Maybe a little more. All right, and lime. So this is a fresh lime. I'm gonna use just half of a lime to start, because you can always adjust for lime later. All right, into the processor here. Oh yeah, that's juicy lime, juicy. And salt to taste, my friends. This is your personal preference. And now, the hard part of the day, process. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend this up. Woo-hoo. Yes, salsa. Oh yeah, it's like a smoothie. So at this point, you can adjust for salt and lime. Just give it a taste. Squeeze a little bit more in if you want. But I'm gonna go ahead and move this over to a bowl. Got a couple of cups here, a little bit more than a couple of cups. Look at how creamy it is, yum. Boom, you can garnish it if you want, little cilantro sprig on top. All right, let's give it a taste, my friends. Grab a chip. So creamy. That is nice and fresh. The true embodiments of a verde. Yo, I could eat this all day. It's good. That's how you make a creamy avocado salsa verde. Super, super easy, right? Super delicious. You can whip this up anytime during the week. Have you ever wanted to make a homemade salsa that tastes a lot like your favorite store-bought brand or like a restaurant? Well, this is exactly how you do it, and it has one secret ingredient that's probably gonna surprise you. So here we're starting with a pound of tomatoes, and these are some tomatoes that we picked from our garden. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pull off the stems here, and we're going to just give the tomatoes, we're gonna dice them up, just chop them up, really. All right, I got my tomato all chopped up here, and all into the food processor. And next, we have a kind of a smallish onion, not too big. Gonna go ahead and chop that up. Gonna add some nice flavor and bite. And a jalapeno pepper. And this is gonna add a nice little bite to it. But you can definitely go hotter if you want. You can use more jalapenos, or you can use serrano peppers for a good level of heat. Habanero, boom, boom, baby. Or ghost pepper salsa. I know you want to. Okay. All right, into the food processor. All right, next we have garlic. I've got 3 good cloves of garlic here, and you can definitely use more garlic. Just gonna give it a nice chop here. All right, garlic is chopped up here. And next we're gonna use fresh cilantro. Gonna use about 1/3 of a cup or so. Don't need the whole thing. Give it a nice chop. All right, and lime juice. I've got a small lime, 2 to 3 tablespoons maybe. Give this guy, chop it in half here. And juicer. Magic. Oh, that's a juicy, whoa, juicy lime.
I'm not sure.
I need to turn Alexa off. That's not for you. All right, so here we have some spices. I have a teaspoon of salt. I've got a half teaspoon of ground cumin, and I have a little bit of sugar. You can omit the sugar if you want to, but a lot of like restaurant style salsas have a sweetness to them. So a little bit of sugar really makes a difference in this salsa. And last but not least is our secret ingredient that's gonna make a difference in your salsa. Canned tomatoes. These are tomatoes in their juices. This is gonna make a difference really in the overall flavor of your salsa, and you want the tomatoes in their juices, and that's gonna make a big difference. So let's pop it into the processor here, and now we are going to process. So what we wanna do here is, you don't wanna puree this, you want a chunky salsa, so we're really just gonna kind of pulse it a few times, like so. And it's funny, every time I press this, my camera lights are blinking like, it's a shadow. Whoa. All right, so check this out, guys. So if you look at this right now, you can see how chunky it is. And again, this is totally to your preference. You really could puree it if you want to and have more of a super loose, almost saucy salsa. But this is nice and chunky right here. It's got a good consistency to it. It's gonna really cling to your chip that way and have a little bit of texture, really. Time for the taste, my friends. Best part of the day. Got me a good salty chip here. Right into my salsa. Absolutely delicious. Dude, salsa time. Patty's trying to steal the salsa. I'm totally stealing extra bites. All right, first things first, we are going to chop up our pineapple here. Just make sure you get off all this outer skin here. Get all the good stuff. You want it to finely dice your pineapple, and you can leave it a little bit chunky if you want to, but sometimes I like to actually not puree it, but like process it, a food processor, to get it partially chunky, but partially pureed, so it's an interesting texture. And into the bowl it goes. Now I used a little bit over half of the whole pineapple for this recipe. You can use the whole pineapple if you want to, make it more pineapple-y, but I got a good 2 cups or plus, a little bit more than 2 cups out of this. So I'm gonna stop right here and save this for another use. All right, next we have 2 tomatoes here, and I'm just gonna slice these up. Get it nicely diced up to the consistency that you prefer. And into the bowl it goes. Now I have part of an onion. I'm using half an onion. And again, a lot of times I like to use red onion, but today I'm using white onion. Okay. Gonna get a nice crunch factor with the onion. And into the bowl it goes. Next we have our jalapeno pepper. Get it sliced up. You can core them out if you want to, reduce the heat. All right, and into the bowl goes the jalapeno. And now I have 2 habanero peppers. Now habanero peppers, like I said, they bring a lot of heat. You can totally skip this part of it if you want to, or for some of you guys, I know you like even hotter, so hey, maybe put 3, 4 habanero peppers in there. Go with ghost peppers, pretty much anything you want. I know some of you crazy people out there. If you still want to get flavor of the habanero, you can core it out and not get as much heat, but I usually will core it out for Patty. All right, the habaneros are cored out, and we're going to give them a nice chop. Dice them up as much as you want to here. If your skin is sensitive, hot peppers can actually burn your skin a little bit. It doesn't bother me too much at all. I'm used to it, but you can wear rubber gloves when handling hot peppers. So that'll protect you from the oils. Get it nice and chopped up. Habanero into the bowl it goes. Next we have some fresh chopped cilantro. Always adds a nice, delicious flavor. I've got just salt to taste. I'll usually do maybe like a half teaspoon to a teaspoon at the most. But really just, you have to adjust it and taste it and then add more later if you want to. Put that here. And some fresh fresh lime juice. I'm using like a half a lime here, but you can use as much as you want to. It really adds just an extra pop. You just mix it all up, mix it together. It already looks crazy delicious. It smells amazing. And this is super fresh salsa, super fresh. Let me give it a taste here. It's nice and chunky. Very fresh. Just a nice amount of kick for me. You can put it in the refrigerator and let it, let the flavors kind of mingle for an hour or two, or even overnight, and everything will blend a little bit better. But fresh right off the bat, delicious. I think you're gonna love it. It's outstanding. Don't forget, guys, I am your gourmet chili head friend who loves to cook for you, and I have a lot more recipes at chilipeppermadness.com. Check me out.